welcome to Vine. Welcome to Golden Mission 144. Congratulations, guys. Many of you have received a lot of what you've been seeking. And those of you who haven't, you feel different. You have clarity about where you're headed. It's a beautiful time. It's about clarity, emotional wellness. Okay, this music isn't going to work. Because I'm too into it. All right, let's go. All right. We're going to look at the higher consciousness message. What is the higher consciousness message to everyone? All right, we're starting out. One, it is definitely balanced because we have our 2 and our 2, okay? So when we go 2-2, it's balanced. But you also see the winding road here. So this is about choices, alternative work opportunities. You guys are evaluating your methods on how you're maneuvering, your methods when it comes to what's for you and what's not for you. It comes out with the combination here, okay? So when we really look into that, and I know you see that tower in the middle, and some of you are experiencing that. You're experiencing that tower moment where you're like, wait a minute. I'm not necessarily aligned with what it is that I want to be aligned with because I just received the notion that there's somewhere else for me to be. I just received the notion that it's something else for me to do. So a lot of you are experiencing that right now, and it might seem like a tower moment, and at times it has been a tower moment in life, but now you're starting to look at things a little bit different. You're starting to say, okay, this is direction, and that's what the higher consciousness message is. It's like, hey, this is direction. This isn't necessarily what's bad. Discovering what you have been aligned to all this time is not being what it is that works for you because you just received the new message. And some of you guys have always known, but it's just you didn't have the new direction as to where you're to be headed to. So it made it easy for you to act like you didn't know is what I'm getting. So that's where this kind of goes into it. So you're really evaluating what works for you. But then we have the feminine energy here. And I believe it was Denise, because I looked at the comment right before coming on here. And she asked the question about the feminine being more intuitive or being intuitive first or getting that divine guidance first and things of that sort. The feminine energy is that intuitive energy. That's why it's so important for that alignment. So what seems to be happening here is that you guys are really getting that intuitive nudging of what it is that you're supposed to be doing and what will work for you versus what won't work for you. And that seems to be the higher consciousness message, that this isn't a bad thing, that this is exactly what you've been looking for all your life. You've been wanting to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And I'm getting, hey, you're discovering now what works and what doesn't work for you. And it's just some adjustment that you're having to go through and work through the entire situation. But I'm getting your intuitive nudging is right, and the direction that you are headed to is going to work for you. And no, it's not what's that, conventional? What? No, it's not and it's definitely not the typical that I'm getting for some of you, but it is going to align all the way to what you've been prepared for throughout life is what's coming through really, really clear. All right. So now, okay, I'm getting commercial break, and we're going to go to a universe card to kind of expand on that just a little bit. All right, and there was one right there waiting for us, ready. Beautiful artwork here. Most don't stop to think, but both having money and not having money make fantastic adventures possible that wouldn't otherwise be possible. Same goes for having and not having anything else. Everyone's a winner in time and space, the universe. Oh my goodness. I know exactly what this is about. know exactly what this is about. I was actually sending out a message yesterday evening about stability, and how there's such an instruction of what stability actually is. And it's really being able to be stable no matter what season that you're in. And understanding just this. Most don't stop to think, but both having money and not having money make fantastic adventures possible. Meaning that there is a life to be lived in both states. And they coincide. So it's learning the balance, knowing that when life cycle transition, that your character, your way of being, your joy, and I'm even getting, your lifeline, because there are many who go into suicidal places just because the money is off. And it's like, money is created by trees. I'm going to have to go to another point on this music, guys, because I'm about ready to get up and dance. Okay. Here we go. But it's basically, hey, look. Money grows on trees. So when it comes to money growing on trees, it's like, you guys, you're looking at it like it's the end all be all, that is the way that you can actually get stuff. And it's like the universe can take you on so many ways of receiving. Oh, I'm going into a deep message. That's what's going on with the music, because I said this is crunk too, but maybe this is just how we're supposed to have it right now, because the message is going in deep, that there are so many ways for you to receive. And that you're only, it's like an obsession with the green. And it's like, no, that comes just within the belief system of knowing that the universe has so many ways to deliver you what it is that you need, and that you're limiting yourself in believing that it has to be money then item, money then adventure, money then thing, money then person. It's almost like, I can't have the love of my life until I have money. I can't have the adventures of my life until I have money. I can't be healthy until I have money. I can't go anywhere until I have money. It's almost like, I can't have anything new until I have money. I can't fully use the things that I have until I have money. All of those are coming down in a trail with this. And it's just saying, whoa. Your belief system around money having so much power is what is the minimalization of the money to actually free you from this addictive placing that's not true, is what's happening. It's like, look, that's one way, but I can't just give you the adventure. I can't just give you the item. I can just align you with the person, and then they even come with some dollars that, they're okay on their own. I can just align you directly, and you don't have to have the money middleman. And it's like understanding that as the wealth transfer is happening, that it is more so instant versus the delay that you're receiving. And it's like, well, yeah, I do need those dollars in a bank account. Well, okay, well, just instantly allow them to align in that spacing. And direction will come from that, is what's coming up strong. So many of you are doing some heavy law of attraction work when it comes around money, because that's what all of this sounds like. You are hearing things, you are listening to things to really shift your mindset when it comes to money. And it's really going, lose the addictive, you're making money bigger than you. You're making money have more power than you, and that's out of alignment. So it's shifting into knowing that you're boss. You're boss over money is what I'm getting. It's like, you should know that, but the way the world structure has happened, it kind of shifted. And many of you guys are recognizing that your money thoughts were passed down to you from generations. And you're breaking that generation scarcity when it comes to money. It's really heavy. It's like money has the power for us to have joy. Money has the power for us to have a family fun night. If I'm getting parent did not have money, then they were not happy. If parent did not have money, you couldn't laugh and joke and have a good time just in the evening. If parent didn't have money, you couldn't go out and leave your home and go on an adventure of the day. I'm getting it is just really you didn't relate to people as much. You didn't have people over. There was so many blockers that you grew up in about money that many of you are really shifting that on higher levels, and you recognize that, oh my God, these are unhealthy beliefs. These are so unhealthy beliefs. If you need any support with that, you'll notice that the courses are being updated at this point in time as they're being updated. When I came onto this channel, I want to thank you all, but you supported me in live, real time in the creation of my courses that would align to the beings of today. The beings and leading edge beings who are guiding of today. So I was able to start to develop them real time. I transferred a few things over that I had before and just kind of class speeches within my private practice. But I was able to go in and really align to what is needed for the collective of people who are ascending at this time. And it is really I had coined, you'll see any of you have went to my website that I've had, that's been restructured as well. That coin of me being the doctor of clarity and emotion. And interesting enough, the programs that were developed here is just that. It talks about the transmutation that has to happen within the mental space and the transmutation that has to happen within the emotional space. Many people are aware with changing things and transforming it in the physical, but they leave their mental and their emotional state behind. And that way you have fractional beings that end up having soul imprint experiences that have to be uprooted and unlocked because they got up into stuff that wasn't aligned to them, simply because the mental and the emotional state of being is not aligned when it comes to the decision space. So I'm really proud and happy that that is upgrading, and you'll see that it will be changing over into officially 2020 to where it will be completely presented exactly how it will be, streamlined as to what it is that I do. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because you guys, it's being filled in at that point in time. I had no idea that's what was happening, but that is what was happening with me. But it's also things of this sort that are happening with you guys, that is starting to be filled in and coming together in the way that the things that you thought you needed to do something were already being taken care of, and your limitation to it does not allow you to move forward simply because you have generational patterns that always said that without money you can't have joy and happiness, and I'm even getting well-being. Many of you experience caretakers who stayed in a sickly, stressful state surrounding money. So you've kind of adopted that. So those things have to be uprooted. So definitely, if you need any support when it comes to understanding what transmutation is, so you can have life transformation, which is what Ascension is about, then definitely seek out the support that is needed. So this is beautiful. I'm going to sit that right to the side because it came in so good for us to support you guys in removing those blocks. I want to now go into the masculine energy and see what's the message that we have going on with the masculine. So when we really go into this masculine energy, we start out with the 3-card spread here, and then we end it with the Page of Pentacles here, and then I did 2 clarifiers to go in. So when we actually look into this, this is pretty big because we're like, okay, what is this that the masculine energy is understanding at this point in time when it comes to, and I'm getting like the merger of heart and money. It seems to be what's happening right now. There is such an education when it comes to money. So we know that the twins are moving into the areas of abundance. So what's going on here? You guys have heard that that was a component of it, but there's also the process of mind, body, spirit alignment in this area. Yeah. There's a music shift. So clearly we hit it. We know what's going on here. So when it comes here, it's like the masculine energy is really working on the conformity. I like that. That music jingle came in. Oh, that's almost like a celebration that you guys are hitting that point. Maybe that's what the congratulations is all about. Woo! Okay. That was my personal commercial. All right. So conformity coming in here, and it's like, okay. The masculine energy is really understanding. They're understanding transmutation. They're understanding how to transform things. Here's that magician. That's what the magician is all about. That is a divine power, which is whatever you throw at the divine, whether it be dark or light, they're going to end up in the light space. That is the flame. So it's like, hey, they understand the magician piece. They know how to align to the divine no matter what is coming up in the physical. But what seems to be happening when the masculine energy is coming in here, what they're saying is they're really learning the lesson of heart and money when it comes to going into conformity, when it comes to transmuting. Almost like I knew I had these powers, but I would transmute to do and have like everybody else. So they would transmute to get in line and be like and align with everyone else. Meaning they desire to be the top at this and the top of that, with a limited amount of options that seems to be coming through with the masculine energy. So they spent a lot of time trying to align to things that really didn't even align to them is what's happening. So they are understanding that led to the loss. And that seems to be what they are working on. That they're working on now, aligning in the masculine energy to the things that align to them. And this is a new study about this. This is a new application of a way of being for the masculine energy. It's like, I align to what aligns to me. I align to what aligns to me. What? And it almost seems like no brainer. But that was an opposite space. It was like, no, you don't align to what aligns to you. You chase down what doesn't, is what I'm getting here in the masculine energy. And then you be really disappointed that you couldn't have it. And now you're like, it makes no sense because you really didn't even want it. So that's the new application. But I know this to be true because, look, they're going into their heart spacing, their intuitive nature, their feminine energy, Denise, that's coming to mind, to intuit what it is that will bring them to fulfillment of wishes, being our clarifier for this with the John Holland cards. So it's like, they're going in that inner spacing now to really not necessarily to do what they see everybody else is doing. And almost like they're not doing it to fit in. It's like I was really just trying to fit in with the system of things that were out because I already felt like I was a little bit off as a person. So I really wanted to obtain those things to align with it, just to say, okay, I'm enough. Because I made it to what everybody else is into. But they're recognizing the reason why they struggled to get to that placing is because it wasn't even aligned to them. So it's like the reason why I had trouble being the king of that, trouble being the queen of that. The reason why I had trouble is because, and again I say that because the masculine energy, it doesn't matter what bodysuit you're in. They were like, the reason I had trouble with that and the reason it didn't work out is because it wasn't for me. It didn't align to me. So they're really understanding that now, so they don't have to go to these pain loss points. They're actually able to ahead of time make the appropriate decision for them by using this intuitive space in their heart center and making decisions, not what the person next to them, the person around, or the person before them instructed them to do or what they're doing. They're able to now say, okay, I need to do what makes me feel good and happy. which is going in with the masculine energy, and that seems to be what's happening right now. So a lot of masculine energy right now is really starting to get this thing when it comes to choosing their heart's desire. And this is lining up a lot when it comes to how they're bringing in money. But even choosing that heart desire is going into relationship too. And just really how they ultimately want to live is what I have going into the masculine energy. I'm getting all the way down to my socks. All the way down to my socks. I want to make sure that my socks are the socks that I want to be wearing. I want to make sure that the things within my home feel like how I want them to be. I want to make sure that my clothes are fitting for me. You know, that's what I'm having that's coming in strong with the masculine energy. They're like, look, I need all of this stuff to line up to me. And I've looked around and seen too many things that don't. And they are at work. You hear me? At work. So it's like, phew, demolition. And it is happening. But at the same time of the demolition, I'm getting that the masculine energy is successfully pulling in what they desire. They're successfully getting to the fulfillment of wishes because of this new application, because of this new way that they're doing things. Yeah, they're going by their feels. All right. Feminine energy. What's happening with you guys? The feminine energy right here. Look at there. These are my 3 spreads for the feminine. And then it also ends with 2 of cups. All right. Toast to you. All right. So when we go starting out with the King of Pentacles here. This is a high achiever. What is the heart and money merger going on with the feminine? So it's like that high achiever that you were able to achieve quite a bit, that you were able to reach many goals. But it's now switching over within this Hierophant spacing of alignments. Mind, body, spirit, the bridge between heaven and earth. You also see right here, you see that open book? Yeah, that's kind of cute. She has that open book coming out. And with the feminine energy here, it's saying, look, you're now utilizing your personal achievement to state that you are a high achiever. And what I mean by personal achievement, it's the mind, body, spirit, and alignment that you have done, your self-work that you've done. And you're starting to utilize, you're starting to look, I'm getting, woo. You're looking at you differently. You're looking at the work that you have done on your mind, body, and spirit as the greatest achievement. That it's not the King of Pentacles, like King of the earth, King of the material, King of the world. It's like you do have that high achieving placement. There are many feminine energies are able to do that, okay? And that's how so many swing over heavy into that masculine energy and don't swing back. But to be a divine feminine, you're able to do the balance. And what's happening here is that you discovered that you're able to achieve quite a bit within the world standpoint. But you're also understanding without that mind, body, and spirit alignment, meaning that if you're not feeling right about what you have going on, and it's not aligning with who you are and your story on this earth, you're recognizing that that's what kept leading you to the 10 of Swords. It's like, this is why I would have these sudden endings. This is why it wouldn't necessarily take off. So you're actually doing a marrying of yourself. You're marrying your, getting your king of the world, your world boss self with your higher self, which is that union within self, of course. But you're really getting down to the details of kind of what I was talking about earlier. You're really getting down to the mind, your body, which is your action space. We'll say even your wand space will go up in the air with your mind space. Then we'll go into your emotional cup space. You're really understanding how that has to be in your work. That you can't just go over into the masculine energy because that is the dominant within the planet and boss and make things happen. Yeah, you can, but you're also understanding that wears you out, that you need the balance of your feminine energy when you are exerting the most of your energy. And that balance and that partnership and that union within is what allows you to align to a journey that works for you. It's almost saying, when I swing into the masculine energy to get things done, it's not about getting amnesia that I have feminine energy. It's not about forgetting that I feel things. It's not about forgetting that I align to things. I'm taking that with me. And that means I don't tire out. So you're using your intuition and you're using your spirit and your emotional space, even in your work spaces and things of that sort that I have now when it comes to the feminine energy, if we're talking about money and heart merger. So that seems to be what's happening with you guys, and it's getting rid of those sudden endings because you're actually going into the Two of Cups, which means that it's meeting you in emotional fulfillment. That what you do is also meeting you. And it's that Two of Cup experience, that partnership, that union. The reason why I know that is because the intuition card comes out definitely here with the intuition wording, and we have steps, and then we have the heartache and loss that comes out here, and it's like you're learning the steps and not to be in that spacing. I want to go into this because I actually think with this John Holland, I thought so. I thought so. This is the High Priestess. Yeah. This is the High Priestess in the John Holland cards. So it's the High Priestess that tackles the heartache and loss, which is you being in that divine nature, making sure that you taking your heart with you so your heart don't get broke. Which means that it's not okay to act like you don't have an emotional center. It's not okay to act like you don't feel things. You're actually using that as a part of your intuition on what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And you're recognizing and using that, it allows you to bypass that Ten of Swords experience of the sudden endings where you tire out of what you're doing, and it's also allowing you to bypass that heartache and loss position being clarified with this. You are learning how to use the union of yourself in everything you do. All right, so let's see. Now we go into the couple side of it. Let's see, are we gonna do a commercial? Nope, not yet. We go in the couple side of this reading. The couple side is very interesting because we go Seven of Air, the Moon, Seven of Wands. So this is definitely the thinking, the clarity space, the air, to the action space. Seven within the completion space, Moon within the highlight, and right here I can even read to you what it even says on these angel cards. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So that's important why it's in the middle. It's saying within the couple space, not getting stuck up here in the mental space. And what you're going to experience is that you're working on assumptions. You're being stopped in your track when it comes to assumptions, when it comes to your partners. And what that means is that you go into that space assuming, because of your long history of knowledge, about men, your long history of knowledge about women, and your long history knowledge of what you think you know about that person's family, friends, and associations and what they do every day. that you are actually being, I'm getting checked on that. Because even in that space, especially in your relationship space, you want to bring in that intuitive knowing. You want to bring that in. You want to be guided as to where that person is that day. Because in a relationship, you have to allow the space for growing. You have to allow the space for change. You have to allow the space for elevation, which means that this is also your manifestation space. You cannot hold the manifestation in the space that you originally saw it and think that it's going to get to the next space. That does not work when we go to science. So your will won't even push that past. You have to, right here, we get to the 7 of Wands, which is really that confident spacing. But that confident spacing comes from this intuitive knowing. And I know it seems like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean? It means that you don't mentally come up with something when it comes to your partner and then assume that it's correct or go into the question or the action and the storyline space. When it comes to your partner, if something comes to you, then that's fine. But you don't even have to expand on that. You just allow what came to you to come to you. And it's like, oh, I noticed that person said this today and they said that the other day, and you stop. Why do you stop? Because you have nothing else. We don't weave together a mental story when it comes to our partners because we don't allow them to participate, which is beautiful. That's coming up. We go this and this. Then we confidently see this right here. The 7 of Wands says, defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battle wisely. So you know what you know. So when it comes up, you're not shaky. You're not shaky to determine if what you thought is what really happened, or if they're still in that space, or if there's something new. It's almost like if you go to someone with what you have already formulating, you're looking for feedback on, is this it, this it. But when you go open, knowing that I only have 2 pieces and I am excited to see where this puzzle is going to go, then you allow that person to fill in. Maybe fill in a good story that works together for your good. But you don't go in with a battle. You go in confident with the only thing you know. The only thing you know, which is what's come to you. And then you go into your space and to see if it's something that feels bad to you or not feels bad to you. And if it does, then you align yourself and figure out what's going on your end. But we don't go into the middle space with the storyline of the person, omitting our needs and desires, and then also leaving out the person to come in with the action space to say exactly what's going on with them. We began to do a partnership here, which means I'm not going to work that hard to figure that out, because I'm an intuitive being, which means that most of what I get is what I get. So if I'm not getting it when it comes to my partner, it means there's nothing else for me to get. It's not to come up with something in the mental mind to substitute the additional that hasn't been received. It's to allow it to show up in the action space. I'm going to allow my spiritual relationship to show up in the physical wand space. By knowing I got a nudging that something about this is coming. I don't go in the mental space to figure it out. I know that it's coming in the action space, and I am in expectancy that something is coming in the action space from my internal knowing. And then I allow it to be filled in by partnership, person, situation, system, thing. And this is in the couple, so it's about the partner. So it's really just not being in a relationship totally by yourself. I'm going to be honest, because that's what the motion is being moved out of, which is beautiful for the divine partnerships. It's like not being in a relationship by myself where I have to take this and come up mentally what's going on, then go into the quiz poll to see where the person is, measure if they've advanced to the place and where they need to be from what I came up with, then go back and measure, then see what I need to do as far as the alignment of that person with myself. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Meanwhile, where's the person? Where's the person who came with the event or came with the situation? So it's allowing your intuition not to drive you out of relating, but to support you in relating. The anticipation and the excitement of how it's going to unfold in the physical, but not to go into the mind space and determine how it's going to unfold in the physical. No. I get the clarification that brings you into victory and success that you've been seeking. It also allows the 10 of Cups, which is that emotional fulfillment that you are looking for, and that fortune moving forward. It is the ending and the beginning when it comes to understanding how to relate in relationship. The card is ready for us now because it came out strongly. My relationships are supposed to feel good. Right. Your life is supposed to feel good to you. Before your birth, you knew that the primary component of your physical experience that would offer the greatest value for your personal and collective expansion and joy would be the relationships that you would experience with each other. It was your plan to relish the diversity of your relationships and to choose from them the details that would make up your creations. And here you are. Oh, I love this because it is perfect as to where you are on the relationship sector. You're going to allow relationship with you, which means I don't have to handle the entire creation of the relationship. You only get a piece, and this is what drives people. It's almost like it drives people's mad in relationship. I got an intuition nudging and a piece and a vision and a knowing about this when it comes to my partner. And it's like, yeah, that's all you got. So that means that something in the physical is still coming to align with this. So you get to be in the anticipation and excitement of it. But you don't go into mind space and figure and come out with a story. You allow your partner, because you know your partner is coming in with a role in this scene. And this is how you have that partnership within the physical, which is really, really beautiful because that's what you came here to do. You want to be in that where relationships feel good, where you get that piece in and then your partner comes in and fills in that other piece, where you in your relationship, you have ascension, you have growing, you have manifestation, you have excitement. And when you start to realize that what you're getting when it comes to that intuitive nudging and the visions and the thoughts and the beliefs and where you believe the relationship is, and then you get in that excitement place that something is going to work for my good concerning whatever this is coming from my partner, even if it's a truth, not to get in a fear space, knowing that something is going on behind the scenes and it'll be revealed to you. And you have confidence it'll be revealed to you in the physical space, on the 3D, on the earth, in reality. And then as it comes to you, knowing that you knew a little bit of this and then your partner came in and filled out the rest of this is also an indication to let you know who's your partner. Because after that happens a few times or so, and more and more and more, you realize that you're in sync with somebody in the spirit and in the physical, and you are relating. And it's like, how did they connect so well with where I was here, and then they come in within the physical here? It's how you know. And you have two people showing up in their roles wonderfully. Meaning they're being guided to show up in one way in the physical. You're being guided to show up in the other. And when you actually meet in that space without coming up with the story and how it's going to be in the middle, it's how you know. It's how you know when you know when you know. It's the whole point of a divine relationship. It's one of the differences. All right, this was a good read. The golden mission. The golden mission is union. Union within self, then union with others. Take care of you. I will currently be doing insight reads for the remainder of the year. You can check that out in the description below. To support those who want to go in and look at those soul imprints to see what it is that might be blocking the alignment of the mind, the emotional and spirit space that's needed to manifest what it is that you're desiring. What part of you is left off of the plan? That is the ability that I have to do. Those of you who have had readings with me, you know that they go deep. So just a precursor, simply because we go to the root. You don't come to me for stuff that you can see. You come to me for the connection of the stuff that you can't see, that is interfering with your current life well-being and transformation into your desires, dreams, and goals. Talk to you soon. Take care.